You finally got it. The thing you kept thinking about. The thing that lived in your mind for weeks, maybe years. You imagined how it would feel. How everything would shift. How you would finally feel different. And for a moment, it did feel good. But then something quietly changed. The excitement faded. Faster than you expected. And now there's this strange silence inside you. Like something didn't fully land. Like the moment you were waiting for never really arrived. You don't say it out loud. But the thought is there. Why doesn't this feel the way I thought it would? You're not ungrateful. You're not broken. But something inside you is out of sync. And that feeling lingers longer than it should. It doesn't always hit all at once. Sometimes it's subtle. You achieve something. A new level. A new purchase. A new version of life. And instead of feeling full, you just feel normal. You try to hold on to the excitement. You remind yourself this is what you wanted. But your mind doesn't stay there. It moves. What's next? What else is missing? And that question doesn't feel motivating. It feels heavy. Because deep down, you weren't just chasing the goal. You were chasing a feeling. A sense of arrival. A sense that something inside you would finally settle. But it didn't. So you start looking for the next thing. Another goal. Another upgrade. Another version of this will fix it. And without realizing it, you enter a loop. Chase. Achieve. Feel nothing. Repeat. Over time, it starts affecting how you see yourself. You begin to question your own reactions. Why can't I just feel satisfied? Even in moments that should feel meaningful, you feel slightly disconnected. Not completely empty, just not fully there. And that's what makes it confusing. Because from the outside, everything looks right. But internally, something feels incomplete. This is where most people misunderstand themselves. They think something is wrong with them. But what you're experiencing is not a flaw. It's a pattern your brain is built to follow. Because your mind doesn't actually reward you for having something. It rewards you for moving toward it. That feeling you thought would come at the end was actually being given to you while you were chasing it. So when the chase ends, the system that created that feeling quietly turns off. And what's left feels like emptiness. Not because the thing has no value, but because the emotional engine behind it is no longer active. So the real question isn't, why do I feel empty? The real question is, where was that feeling coming from all along? To understand this, you need to understand how your brain actually works. Your brain runs on a system designed for survival and movement, not for stillness. At the center of this system is dopamine. But dopamine is often misunderstood. It's not the chemical of happiness. It's the chemical of anticipation. It's what makes you want. It's what pulls your attention forward. When you imagine a better future, dopamine increases. When you move toward something meaningful, dopamine rises. But when you finally get the thing, dopamine drops. Because there is nothing left to pursue. Your brain is no longer in chase mode. Think of it like a spotlight. While you're chasing something, your brain shines a bright light on the future. Everything feels important. Everything feels alive. But once you reach it, the light turns off, and suddenly things feel flat. This is known as reward prediction error. Your brain predicts how good something will feel, and when reality doesn't match that prediction, the emotional experience drops, sometimes quietly, sometimes sharply. Now there's another layer to this. Identity. If your identity is built around chasing, then what happens when there's nothing left to chase? You don't just lose excitement, you lose direction. A sense of movement, a sense of who you are becoming. It's like climbing a mountain your whole life, and when you finally reach the top, there's no path forward, only stillness. And if you're not used to stillness, that stillness feels like emptiness. So the problem isn't your success. The problem is that your identity was never built to exist after success. And once you see that, everything starts to shift. Instead of forcing yourself to feel satisfied, you can start working with your mind, not against it. First, separate wanting from having. Notice how different those two feelings are. The excitement of wanting is not the same as the reality of having. When you see that clearly, you stop expecting the wrong feeling from the wrong place. Second, build your identity around processes, not outcomes, because outcomes end, but processes continue. When your identity is tied to what you do daily, your sense of self becomes stable, not dependent on the next win. Third, slow down after achieving something. Don't rush into the next chase. Your brain needs time to actually register what happened. Without that pause, every achievement becomes forgettable. Fourth, connect your goals to meaning, not just progress. Progress excites the mind, but meaning anchors it. When something connects to who you are, it lasts longer inside you. Fifth, Learn to sit with emotional quiet. Not every moment needs to feel intense. Your brain has been trained to expect stimulation. So when things feel calm, it labels it as empty. But calm is not emptiness. It's stability. When you put all of this together, a simple truth starts to emerge. Your mind is built for movement, but your identity doesn't have to depend on it. Your life is like the ocean. Your goals are waves. They rise, they fall, they disappear. But beneath all of that, there is something steady. That's you. If you only focus on the waves, you'll always feel like something is missing. But when you recognize what's underneath, you stop depending on movement to feel complete. So if you've been feeling this emptiness after getting what you once wanted, it doesn't mean you chose the wrong thing. It means you're starting to see something deeper. That fulfillment was never waiting at the finish line. It was always being created while you were moving toward it. And once you understand that, you don't need to chase harder. You just need to see more clearly, because that quiet space inside you is not something missing. It's something real. Money Decode, where you don't just chase results, you understand the system behind them.